Base resonator here. I have 2 sand dollars that I prepped with some decoupage to seal them because I don't want them absorbing what I'm going to be doing. But I mixed up my silicone. This is Unicorn Arts 25A hardness silicone, and I'm going to be making a couple inserts. And this is the beginning part. I will show you. I'm going to end up making a mold out of one and have just a regular insert out of another one. But so yeah, just mixed up 3.6 ounces of silicone. Hopefully that is enough. I don't expect it to take too much because I don't need a huge amount. I just need to cover the surface. But these sand dollars have a hump in the middle. And you can see my wonderful technique of making a mold for the mold material. I'm going to end up using most of this on just one, so I'll have to mix up some more. Just some aluminum foil. That's the way we say it on this side of the pond. The people over on the other side say aluminium. I used to always think they were saying it wrong, but apparently it's allowed both ways. So there's still a little bit of a hump. These are taller than I expected. These sand dollars are almost 4 inches from side to side. Okay, I got it covered. I'll let that sit while I mix up some more. And if it rears its head up a little bit more, then I will have to mix up some more for that too. So, anyway, making molds. It just occurred to me, this one kept staying above. It's still a little bit high, but it keeps rising because it's got bubbles. It's lighter than the silicone. So I'm just keep pushing this down and keep bubbles because that means they're coming up underneath. But what am I going to do on this other one? Well, petroleum jelly. I'm going to hope it acts as a glue on the back of this other one so that it'll stay down and not rise to the occasion like this other one seems to be doing. And I just hope the silicone doesn't have a weird reaction to this petroleum jelly. And don't ever tell your kids when they're young that petroleum jelly is good, because they'll think about eating it. And I don't know how good that is for them, but it's definitely not good with peanut butter. Peanut butter and petroleum jelly sandwich. No, don't think so. Okay, now that I got my hand or my finger ridiculously coated, get that Kleenex over here. We'll try this and hopefully it sticks down. I try not to slide it around. Stay. Good boy. Put the lid on that petroleum jelly. Don't want it getting all over everything else. or just happen to fall into something that it shouldn't. Okay, so I've got this next batch mixed up. Oh, it's got an air bubble coming up too, but stay down. Don't even think about coming up. But that one is staying lower than the level of, so I have, and this one keeps, I'm wondering if I ought to just, no. You know what I could do? I think I'm going to do is get a little rock and put one on each side and hold it down. I'll be able to pull that rock off, and I'll be able to put in a little bit of silicone after this is all sealed up. I think that will work. Little Rock, I say. Little Rock, Arkansas? No, not Little Rock, Arkansas. Okay. Going down. There's one. Now that thing keeps trying to slide. Because it's like, that's heavy. I don't want to be sat upon by a rock. Sometimes desperate measures. And that one's not moving. Yay! My little plan worked. I still had a little bit left over. Well, not so much left over as it was still some in the cup that after I finished pouring the other one, it came off the sides. Maybe I won't have to make, or hey, it looks like my plan is working because this is not floating up. Yay! Mother necessity, where would we be? There used to be in the United States, I don't know if it occurred anywhere else, but we used to have in the 60s and 70s, well, not so much the 60s, but in the 70s, we had these cartoons that would come on Saturday. And then in between the cartoons, they would have commercials, but the commercials were more cartoons. And it was called Schoolhouse Rock. And I don't know if anybody else ever had that, but that was one of the songs. Mother necessity, where would we be? Hey, those rocks displaced enough to where that, yay. Okay, I'll come back at you in a few hours when this sets up. Hopefully this all works. And then I'll have to put a little bit more on that one to fill in the spots after I pull those rocks out of there. Okay. Let's hope it works. These have set up. This is one the one that I put the Vaseline or petroleum jelly on the bottom. And here's the one that had the stones. Pull the stones out. And there's a gap there. And so I mixed up a little bit more silicone, and I'm going to fill that up. And if I have any left over, I have this pattern of ripples, and I put some saran wrap down here, plastic cling wrap, and I will pour that on top of that. and we'll see how well we can get some water patterns for an insert. That will be fun. So here we go, filling up those gaps. One full. And there's the other one, just almost. Needs a little bit more, I think. There it is. Now the rest goes over here. And we'll have a ripply water scene. Yay! So, yeah. And then I will be doing more with these other inserts and making some other molds. So, no real resin today, but mold making day. Yeah. Sometimes you get to play with resin. Sometimes you got to make the stuff so that you can play with the resin in a different way. So, come back at you when I have more to say. Well, these have all cured up. And after my little foray into mold making this time, I have some ripples for the bottom of a 4.5-inch round mold. I have 2 sand dollars, and I'm going to do something else with those later. But that one that started floating floated up enough to where I have the bottom of a sand dollar. So I can use that as a possible insert for something at some point. So, yeah. What I am going to do, and I'll tell you right now, don't know if I'll get it all on the video in the next few minutes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around with putty on this one, and go around the outside, and I'm going to get some different shells and stick into the sides. Julie Cutts has been doing this with different flowers and turtles and butterflies, but I'm going to use some shells. Maybe she was planning on doing that, but I'm going to use sand dollar and then some shells around it to make a mold and be able to come up with some cool things of that sort. Once I get that made, the putties will stick onto this really well, but it makes a very clumsy mold. So if I get a really good looking master, then I will put it inside a round pan and pour silicone over the top and have a really nice quality mold. But so that's the process of making molds. Hope this is helpful to you. This one is awfully thin right here, so I may, before I do anything with it, may have to pour another little bit in there. I mean, it's paper thin. This one is better. I mean, it's thin, but it's not like that one. So, still got some work to do. I'll definitely use this one as a for making that other mold, and who knows where I'll use these others. But this one's going to come into play quite a bit, I'm pretty sure. This one might. Never know. So, be looking out for projects that I do with sand dollars or ripples. Okay, I'm going to be making a master mold using one of the ones that I just finished making from that sand dollar. I'm going to be using Let's Resin silicone putty. And I'm going to try and work fast enough to where I can put a ring of this around the edge, stick it up against the edge, and then place some of these shells and starfish into the thing. Now here is the problem. Part A, Part B. You have to mix them until there's no white left visible. Then you got 3 minutes total. So I'm going to have to roll this out really fast. It's going to look bad, but if I can get it all the way around and get some of these designs squished into the edge, that's what I'm going to be trying for. So here we go. Got to get it to where there's no white visible, so it'll turn to a little bit lighter blue color. And then the clock is going to start. Actually, the clock is probably already starting. And I don't like that because I get nervous because I don't want to waste this putty. Because if you get it going good, it's really a good material, but if you waste it, man, not good. Because it's not the cheapest stuff. Now the good thing is it sticks pretty good to this other silicone that I've got. And I want to get it high enough so I can have a good mold. To make a master out of. Come on now. And then when it doesn't go just like I want, and I start to panic, why is it that when you panic, things start falling apart? Same type of thing when you're driving and you're in a hurry, you're for some reason late. You got out the door later than you wanted to. And it just so happens those times are when you have the slowest drivers in front of you. Okay, come on now, stay standing up there. Shell 1, shell 2, starfish. Get in there. Still have a little bit right here. Because this right here, this area and this area want to sag. And it cures in about 15 minutes, which is really nice. Except that everything's super rushed to get this done. And then once I get done doing this, I'm going to have to keep going around the edges and keep pushing it up. Okay, don't need that other shell. So this will be a mold. A sea life mold. So that used up the rest of my putty. I ordered another set, but don't want to use it right now. So this will create a finished piece about a half an inch thick, maybe not quite a half an inch, 3/8 of an inch deep, except in the middle where that sand dollar is, it will be deeper there. This part right here is just not wanting to stand up. Those two starfish wanting to tumble over. And I'm not going to stay here for the whole 15 minutes. I will, but I'm going to turn the video off because there's no reason for you to sit here and watch me do nothing other than just tell you this is the way we make our mold. Okay, yes, I've got a grandbaby. She's a year and a half, and so yes, we sing little songs like that. Okay, well, this is all cured up, and what I have done is gone around and dusted this with various colors. Let me get them out. These are fascinating colors. The central area of that, I used holographic powder from Let's Resin. The maple-ish color is from the Maple Intense Chameleon. And then the shells, the starfish, I used seashell from Let's Resin. And some of the shells I used gold pink from Let's Resin. This is all in one set. And some of the other ones are purplish red from Let's Resin. So then, in order for me to have the Intense Chameleon powder color to show up and shine brightly, you really need a dark color. So what I did was I have these super intense color from Counterculture DIY, and I used emerald, and I used just a little bit. This looks dark as all get out, but if you look at the side you can see that it's green, so it's a super dark green. I hope I have no leaks in this. Let me aim it a little bit lower. So this is all mixed up. It's been sitting a while. It's very thin. This is Resin Pro iCrystal resin. So let's try. Now you can see that green color there. I'm worried over here on one edge. I hope it doesn't leak. That would not be good. Right there. Don't leak. And I don't know if I've got it to where I can go deep enough, because some of these sides, this side right here, I can't go much deeper. Because, see, with that putty, and only having 3 minutes to get everything working, and I'm right about at the edge now, don't think I can go much deeper. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I'm afraid if I go too much more, I'll go over the top. So hopefully I can come up with a really good master. And the colors don't matter, but I just wanted to have a good master so that I could make a a decent mold instead of one with putty mixed with the other silicone. So, see you in the morning. It's the morning. This is cured up. Let's see what this baby looks like. I think I've gone all the way around. There's some shells. I see some shells. Oh, that starfish has almost a whole leg. So we got some shells, starfish. Basically, what I was wanting was a good master. If I would have been able to have more time, instead of just 3 minutes, I would have liked to have gotten that blue all the way up on this edge. So there would just be the sand dollar with the edge of blue. I did not have time to do that. This is still a good piece. Do a different color with it. Leave the sand dollar maybe the color of a sand dollar. And the shell's different colors, but then maybe blue in between or something. Yeah. But I can make a master out of this, because that pattern on this sand dollar came out really good. And the shells came out nice. The colors on this, don't worry about that. This was just to getting a master made. So that's what I needed. Look at that. I don't know what that... On the master that I had, there was a funky little thing here. And I still can go around and maybe do some work with some UV resin, put some different textures here before I make a... I'm still going to play with it. But you've seen how to make a mold using silicone, and then using silicone putty to build up the sides, and then put some different textures in there. So yeah. Lots of fun. Bass resonator. Singing off.